So I just completed a meditation, and the thought that came to my mind was how to become a millionaire. And also, if you wish for something, you must be willing to accept it. And so this is really the cheat codes, man. I'm about to tell you exactly how to become a millionaire. Now, this has nothing to do with like sell this, buy this, do this, as much as it is the instructions to have the eyes to see the things in your own life to become it. And so the first thing we have to do is release the whole entire old story. Whatever it is pertaining to money, and mind you, this advice literally goes for everything. It's synonymous with everything, but I'm just using money as the topic right now. Whatever is the old story of your life, you have to let it go. So if we're staying with money, if you've been broke your whole life, if your parents haven't had a lot of money, if you were not necessarily born into a lot of money, if you don't have a good job because you didn't go to college, because like all these things that were, you have to truly lose that entire identity and just let it go. The second thing we have to do is we have to study. We got to put our education hats on for a little bit. We have to study what money really is fundamentally, so that our minds can truly digest it and understand it and move past it. Now, there's a plethora of people who tell you what their ideology of money is and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to give you some solid facts. Money as itself, or rather I should say money as it stands today, is purely just a representation physically of debt. And so if I had $1, I'd be able to show you. Maybe I should go grab, I'll be right back. All right, got $1. This little piece of ink and paper is nothing more than debt physically manifested, representing the debt itself. And so people attach their energy and their minds to the consumption of these little pieces of paper, and they're truly no different than these leaves behind me. Mind you, we got a papaya tree back here. Shout out to the papayas, and we actually got a bell pepper growing down here too. That's besides the point. I just wanted to share that. But these pieces of paper truly don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. And so what I mean by they don't mean anything, obviously they mean something, they represent something, but the fact of what we attribute it to being powerful and having some sort of a systemical value that isn't entirely represented by what we give it. But that's exactly what it is. This only has value because I said, hey, I want some freaking watermelon cherry juice. Here's $1 for it. And I think, okay, well, this is worth it to me because somebody else who has what I want says they want this too. So we're all in agreement. And so with that being said, fuck that little dollar. No, I joke. But the point is, we have to get our mind past the factual understanding, or really the limitation, because that's exactly what it is, of what money truly is if we want to be a millionaire. Or just in general, besides saying a millionaire, accumulate a lot of wealth. Because again, money has nothing to do, building wealth has nothing to do with the accumulation of ink and paper as much as it does the energy that is set forth from your heart space, made physical to the flesh. And so the first thing that we need to do in terms of rewiring our mind is completely, truly rewire our vocabulary. And so all the I don't have enough money, if I could, when I can, if I could just get a little, like all of these little words and sentences that we be saying for no reason, except for the reasons that we're trying to give somebody because we don't have enough of those ink and paper notes, we have to let those go. And so I want us to do a small little meditation. Honestly, don't think, because it's actually really hot outside, so the camera might overheat. So I don't actually think I'm gonna have enough time to do this meditation. So let me tell you what, I'm just gonna give you the steps to do the meditation, and we'll do like one for 10 seconds, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sit on the ground. Now, if you have a hard time sitting on the ground, I used to be crippled, man. My hips, my knees, my ankles used to be really, really tight. So I get some yoga blocks and I put them on the side of me. And I actually get like these thin little black, little like foam, little pads, and I put them on my feet. That way my ankles can rest on the ground. But you need to be on the ground when you do this because your energy literally goes from the ground up to your spine, up to your head. So when you're sitting on the couch or you can be laying in bed technically or even sitting in bed, but it's just better if you're sitting on a flat surface. So when you do this, the energy, it can circulate up and down, you feel me? Now, the first thing we're gonna do is when we get on the ground, let me go ahead and get on the ground for you guys as well. I'm sitting here doing this shit, standing up, sitting, you feel me? All right. The first thing we're gonna do when we do this is we're gonna make sure we stand up, sit up real straight. And so when we're doing this, we're gonna make sure that we're breathing through our belly. Right now, a lot of people don't even know this. You're not supposed to breathe through your lungs. That's very shallow. You're supposed to breathe through the belly, rise it up through the diaphragm into the lungs, and then if you can, bring it into the skull. But for right now, we're just gonna stop at the chest. So it should look something like, and so that's the second part of this, is you're gonna hold that breath as long as you can. Now there's different ways to meditate. Sometimes I do deep breaths in and quick breaths out, not holding for a long time. Sometimes I do slow inhales, hold for a very long time, get it out quick. You feel me? I just mix it up. There isn't necessarily a way to do it or not to do it. Excuse me. But I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. Y'all experiment, do what you do. Drop some comments on how you meditate. I typically do a 5-5-5. I like to inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, release for 5 seconds. So it'll look something like this. And you don't have to close your eyes when you meditate. I guess for me, it just brings me a deeper sense of peace. So, you know, whatever the fuck you want to do, don't matter. And so two things. Normally when I breathe on the inhale, I like to go through my nose, and on the exhale, I like to have it come out of my mouth. That's just my preference. Again, I do it all different kind of ways. Doesn't necessarily matter the way you do it, just do what feels comfortable. So after we get this breathing technique down, we're gonna do that anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, right? So you can go real fast, real slow. Another tip, put your ring finger with your thumb, both hands. Should allow you to inhale breath a lot deeper, a lot easier. Let's go ahead and do that. Take a breath in with no hands. See how easy that is, how difficult that is. Now go ahead and do this mantra here and see how easy, difficult it is. If it doesn't feel any better, I guess this was a waste of time telling you that, but for the people it worked for, glad I could help you. So the second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna reprogram our subconscious mind. And so the way that I like to do this is while I'm actually doing this meditation, I like to use a binaural beat. If you're not hip to those, I got some videos explaining that on my channel. But just to give you a little, I guess to say, description of it, essentially your brain hemisphere can be synchronized to the other one by the induction of Hertz frequency. And so essentially it'll be like I think the best one for subconscious induction is alpha. They say theta too, but I'm gonna just say alpha right now. Drop again in the comments, whatever you think is the best. But let's say alpha wavelength beat, binaural beat. We're gonna put some headphones on and we're gonna breathe for about, like I said, about 1 to 3 minutes. And then as we're breathing, we're gonna slowly close our eyes and then just let our breath carry us, however long it carries us for. I typically do this for maybe 10 to 15 minutes before I start to notice myself like slipping into an even deeper state. And this is exactly where you wanna be. Now, when you're first beginning, I train myself, mind you, to be at that 10 to 15 minute stage. It might take you probably 30 to 45 minutes. If you're just very beginning for the first time, if you have a hard time switching off your mind and the thoughts that you're having, you know, that's just gonna be up to you. But anyways, with that being said, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes before I get to that stage, similar to when you're falling asleep and you're kind of between a lucid and awake stage, like you're just not asleep, but you're almost there. Another little tip point I want to give is you'll know you're getting there because your body gets itchy all of a sudden, which this is another little thing I learned. I learned this when I was like 13 or 14 because I was always trying to leave my body. Your body will literally try to keep you awake. It's the funniest thing. And so just to give you an example, like I'll be sitting here doing a meditation and out of nowhere, like the craziest spot on my body, my neck, my freaking arm right here, the top of my head, it'll start itching like crazy, like the strongest sensation ever. And I'll go to itch it and it literally just goes away. Like it was a phantom pain or something like that. So regardless of that, I just want to share that. So we're going to start our breathing. We're going to let our breaths after 1 minute to 3 minutes. And again, for me, it's 1 minute to 3 minutes. It might take you 10 minutes of doing breaths. Like it might take you a few minutes to really calm down your central nervous system and your vagus nerve, because that's essentially what we're doing right there. If you want to look that up in a separate video, if you want me to make a video on that, you know, drop a comment. But that little time frame that we're doing that's what we're doing. We're allowing our central nervous system to calm down. We're allowing our fascia to relax inside our body. We're allowing our vagus nerve to calm down as well. And also for our thoughts to kind of just slowly, gradually turn off and go on autopilot mode, as opposed to the manual mode that we're always in. And so now when we do that is when the third step comes in. I think the third step, I done lost count, which is we're going to actually speak affirmations. Now for me, I am so unsure why. I really don't have an answer, but I was kind of shy. Like even when I'm by myself, I was just under the bridge. Well, I wasn't under the bridge, but there's an underpass where I live, and there's fucking nobody around, dude. There's cars zipping over the bridge. You can't hear a damn thing. And for some reason, I still don't talk out loud, you know, whatever. But you're going to want to do these affirmations, whether you say them in your head or you say them out loud. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. It is a little bit more powerful if you say it out loud, but if you're saying it in your head, I guess that's all that matters really. So we're going to start with an affirmation. The first one I like to start with is, I love you and I'm here and I'm listening. Because truly you have to tell yourself you love yourself, otherwise you're not even going to listen. If your mom or your dad or your girlfriend doesn't tell you I love you, you get angry and then you don't even listen to them. So take some advice for yourself. So I love you, I'm here, I'm listening. And then literally just start fucking spamming. Act like ChatGPT. That's the best advice I can give you. Mind you, you want to make them meaningful. You want to have strong emotional conveyance when you're giving these messages to yourself, these affirmations. But start spamming everything you can think of that you want with money. Because now at this point, you done did the breath work, you done did the binaural beat function to have your brain hemisphere synced. Your brain, your subconscious is listening. So this is the time to really get in there and portray your message. So mine will go something like this. I allow myself to be wealthy. I allow myself unlimited prosperity and abundance. I allow myself to enjoy being a trillionaire. I allow myself to, and I just continue going and going. And so there's the I allows, the I command, I accept, however you want to start. I'm not camera shy, but I'm just trying to think shit on the spot, right? Because I'll be sitting here for a long time. So the messages come together of what I want to say, right? So my true, if I'm to really be doing this, right, I'll be here and mine will sound kind of like this. I command that the world give to me everything that belongs to me and my wealthy, and just some random ass shit, honestly. I'm just making this up as I go. But my point is, as you start to do this every single day, the next phase 2 of this now is going to be what you pay attention to in your worldly view. You're going to have opportunities come across you that is going to bring you some money, but it's on you to make sure that you're actually doing the things and fulfilling the words that you're speaking by putting your hand out and accepting. That's why we started the message with, you have to be willing to accept it. If you do all of this work we're doing right now, and you walk into the world and you have the conversation with the guy who popped up randomly at the coffee shop, and now he's all of a sudden an expert on the very thing you want to learn on. If you don't ask him, hey, do you want to teach me? Can I be connected with somebody who can teach me this shit from you? Like, if you don't precipitate this transactional relation, it's not that you wasted it, because everything is a lesson, but at the same time, my nigga, you wasted it. I don't like to say that word on YouTube, you feel me, but fuck it. It's the realest message I could give you. You wasted the opportunity. You had an opportunity to really present your world in a whole new perspective. That's really what they gave you right then and there. You had the idea, you had the ability right there to change your whole perspective of your whole world right there. The guy who studies the one thing you want to talk about and do all day. There's one thing you tell your homeboy, your mom, your brother, your sister. You tell them, man, if I could just find somebody. You found them, and what do you say? Man, I want to do that too. But you don't ever ask them, can I do it with you? You got to change your perspective.